of those people that writes a hate blog, you can get a lot of attention doing that, and some people become very addicted to attention. And if you notice, they start repeating those patterns and blogging constantly over and over again. And then also, what he also does is anybody who opposes him, he deletes them from the comments, even if they're respectful. If you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. I became aware of him because of that whole Michael Shermer debacle.
Yes, the rape thing, right?
Yeah. Well, he accused Michael Shermer of rape because he had sex with a woman consensually while they were both intoxicated.
At a conference, I think.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, but that's how you got to know him. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's how I heard of him. Right. You know, and it was the way it was done was so reckless and so uninformed. Like you don't know what happened unless you were there. And also, there's photos of Michael Shermer and the girl smiling weeks after this incident. It's all very sordid.
Well, it's ugliness, right? It's difficult to understand what he gets out of this sort of frivolous, diabolical ugliness. It's
attention.
It's attention.
It's attention. That picture.
Should we just keep going?
Retarded social
Well, now she was writing on my wall, and now she's writing on your wall.
Like that out there. And there's a lot of attention in doing something like that.
Okay, if you're posing to some random day on a random Thursday.
Points that they might have about a bunch of different issues. Because you have to look at it through the lens of this really poisonous person.
Who cares?
You know, the first time I heard of that.
Take a picture with the scarf on. Be like, never know your scarf is getting married tomorrow.
Satoshi Kanazawa. Are you familiar with him?
No.
Yeah, look at that. 3 gems.
Professor.
I got lucky. That's like worth 15
School of Economics.
rapples.
Very prestigious school in London, England. Who was a very popular blogger in psychology today. But he had a very sort of bombastic, sort of drew a lot of attention because of the way he phrased things. But I guess he thought that he was so popular that he was sort of untouchable. And at one point he wrote a blog article summarizing somebody else's work, looking at racial differences in attractiveness. So, for example, who's most attractive, white women or black women, white
Let them wonder.
And one of the results from that data set, this wasn't his own study, he was summarizing somebody else's work, was that
Next thing you know, your mom will be calling us.
yes, less attractive.
What?
I guess speculative reasons as to why that would be. So that caused a huge
I'll just laugh.
He's a racist.
I'll just laugh and I'll say.
He's a racist. He hates blacks. He hates this. They tried to get him out of psychology. They eventually kicked him out. They tried to revoke.
One bomb. I gotta save my
They tried
bomb.
to revoke his tenure at London School of Economics. But I'll mention 2 points. Number one,
Save the bomb.
Ed Myers takes this example and says, look, here's what evolutionary psychology is. Here's this racist who happens to be an evolutionary psychologist. All evolutionary psychologists are racist. Well, I mean, that's what racism usually is, right, Jimmy? Generalization. All right, I know a friend who is Jewish and who was caught cheating on his taxes. That shows you Jews cheat when it comes to money because they're always looking to make the most money. That's what happens with those Jews, right? So he doesn't see the irony of that. So then I wrote an article, which I, frankly, if you know what I'm saying, took a lot of courage, and you could probably pull it up, well, you could pull it up if you wanted, where I basically argued that to purge a blogger would set a very dangerous precedent, right? If you disagree with whatever Satoshi Kanazawa is saying, let his words come back to haunt him, right? His words will be there if they are truly racist, if he is espousing racial theories that are pure quackery. That will be the biggest punishment he can suffer. But to remove him from the discourse, the public arena of ideas, sets a very dangerous precedent. Now, guess what happened? A lot of my academic colleagues wrote to me privately and said, my God, thank you for having the courage to write that article. That's exactly what I thought, but I didn't want to write the article because then people might think that I'm supporting Satoshi. So it shows you the cowardice of people. To me, it seemed very natural to write that article. I don't give a shit. I mean, I know what's right, and I'm going to support that principle, which is you don't ban people based on ideas that they write. Let their ideas come back to haunt them if they are bad ideas.
Not only that, why is it okay to say that there's an evolutionary desire for women to breed with an alpha male, like one of these romance novel guys, right? Why is it okay to say that women are more inclined to favor taller men with broader shoulders and longer hair, whatever the fuck it is? why is it okay to say that women are less attractive to obese short men? Why is it okay to say that women or that men would be less attractive to obese women, which is a fact. But as soon as you involve race, then you're not allowed to look at the actual statistics. You're not allowed to look at the real numbers.
Have you noticed, by the way, that 100 meters was very racist this year?
Was it racist? How so? Black people won?
There were Jews who were overweight that were in the final.
Oh.
There was no proper representation of the rich tapestry of humanity. Why were they all black? That was clearly racist.
Well, we're talking about an athletic event. We're not talking about sex.
Right.
It's all sorted.
Oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? That was so stupid of
you can
me.
make the argument that there are women
I'm
that
better
are
than
far more
that.
beautiful than any, that are black, that are far more beautiful than any white
Damn
woman,
you.
you know? I mean, there's a broad range of attractiveness in all sorts of different races and creeds and different parts of the world. And there's also, different people have different things that they're attracted to. Like some people are attracted to short Asian women. Some people are attracted to tall women from Norway. You know, there's a lot of variety in what personal preference.
Sure.
But when you're just looking at sheer numbers, and which is, I'm sure he wasn't saying black women are completely unattractive.
Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I think in the same study, if I'm not mistaken, he pointed to the fact that black men had scored as more attractive. So the result that demonstrates a finding that is racially acceptable is cleaned over the one that is unacceptable that makes him a KKK Nazi.
What's he supposed to do? Is he supposed to ignore the statistics?
Exactly. Incidentally, the king on this issue is a gentleman by the name of Philip Rushton, who has now passed away a few years ago, who was a kid of his career studying racial differences. Specifically, he studied differences in IQ. And I actually had a personal anecdote with him because early on in my career, I think 2 years into my original profession,
kill this guy.
I was giving a talk at
I just have to. I'm sorry. It's happening.
the hall where
To kill this guy.
people, and I hadn't looked at who were the other speakers in my session, but I noticed that people were seeing there's a lot of poison in the air, and it turned out, I should have maybe checked before going into the hall, that the gentleman who was speaking immediately before me was this gentleman, Philip Rushton, and he's going to talk about the cranial capacity,
Yeah.
capacity,
Yeah.
black women,
Yeah.
white women, and then he would show some racial differences before we get everybody riled up. And this was probably the only time ever where I was about to give a talk where I was genuinely terrified because I thought that I would just get lynched by proxy because I'm the next guy in line. They're just gonna kill me just because I was next on the same stage as him. The good news for me is that after he finished his talk, so the room, let's say, had 1,500 people, he finishes his talk, I'm getting ready to go up. About 425 out of the 1,500 leave to follow him, and there's to yell at him, to kill him, yeah. And there's maybe like 75 people in a room of, and I was actually very happy that there were so few people that stayed in my talk.
The undeniable physical differences in human beings to somehow or another say that bringing those up is racist is really strange. Like there's just some undeniable physical differences in bone structure, bone density. There's just something like, for instance, African American women tend to have higher bone density and similar bone density to Caucasian men, which is very rare. Like in women, it's not the same. Like African American women have denser bones per capita, normally rather.
You know, that happens only just in general.
Just in general, yeah. And who knows what the origin of that is. I mean, you can go into that from an evolutionary standpoint and try to figure out what part of the world they come from, what their ancestors did.
What would have been the selection pressures that would have resulted in this information? Well, and
they're fascinating conversations.
Well, that's exactly what Philip Rushton used to argue. He used to argue, look, I'm not a racist, I don't have an agenda. I follow an interesting line of questions.
Yes.
And here's the data. Now, I've asked people who were friends with him privately, so what is the deal with the gentleman? Is he racist? Is he not? And I've never heard by anybody that he was a racist.
But here's where I'm confused. If you're showing actual skulls and you're actually measuring cranial capacity, are you not allowed to do that? Are you not allowed to look at the differences between Asian people and Norwegian people or people from Antarctica versus people? Are you not allowed to do that? Because it seems kind of crazy.
It's alright, I knew I was gonna get that one right
So
away.
that's part missing.
I'm hating. I'm patting. Very, very patting.
I think it's forbidden knowledge. And it specifically sort of breaks down the types of research questions that if you want to have a viable career as a scientist, you should stay away from.
That's how you get to be number one in the world.
Racial differences, especially racial differences that might eventually point to a finding that is politically incorrect.
Right.
So that's an excellent way for you to become the pariah of
Sir Mark
academia,
from
unfortunately, the public.
you
And so
shot
yeah, it's
Dave
cool. I
Stand Up.
actually did a side trip
Exactly
on
how it
YouTube channel
sounds.
where I talked about, that facts are not racist, right?
Weird
I mean,
accent.
in Boolean logic and mathematical logic, you take a statement and it's either true
Jewish?
or false.
It sounds Jewish?
Or zero,
Polish.
right? I mean, that's how we create circuitry, architectural
Jewish,
circuitry on a
Polish.
computer, right? It has a truth value, yes, no, right? So the idea that a statement is racist scientifically, no, it's either false or not false or provisionally true.
Trying to be pro.
But apparently, the
Trying to be
argument from
really-
the other camp is the mere
really
fact
pro.
that you ask these questions suggests that there must be a reason that is nefarious for you to ask these questions. What is the value in asking that question? So they sort of infer a nefarious motive to you going down that avenue.
Yeah, but you can't do that, and because it's an appeal to ignorance. You're saying that let's all feign ignorance and not look at the actual facts.
Missed.
Just the physical
What are you
bodies of human
doing?
beings, and that they vary based on climate, based on
Missed. Just kicking
what
Sam.
area of the world, what the people were up to.
My last video,
Living there for generation
5
after generation
views.
that
Oh
led to
yeah.
genetics expressing themselves
5.
the way they do in
First I thought it was
2016.
only 2, but nope.
It's
It was 5.
But it's weird. It's
pretty
weird.
popular on the
It's
internet.
almost like in response to what they believe to be illogical criticism that's inevitable. It's like this
I think Joe
illogical
Rogan
criticism
is-
is inevitable. So
Joe Rogan helped
hedge
me.
your bets early and say there's no difference between the sexes, there's no difference between the races. I don't want to get into any arguments. I want tenure. Just want to keep promoting ignorance at an institution of learning, which is bananas.
Incidentally, that's how you
Jeremy.
were asking me, so who are some of these detractors of evolutionary psychology? So what you just mentioned kind of can bring us back to that point. Some of the early proponents of sort of this anti-evolutionary position came from anthropologists who saw the potential for biology being misused, or Darwinian theory to be misused, right? So the Nazis can refer to, Darwinian theory. There's a struggle between the races, and we are the Aryans.
True.
And the Jews lost, so what's wrong with getting rid of it? That's Darwinian. Of course, that's nothing to do with Darwinian theory.
Yeah, both
but
gonna be
assert the theory
superb.
of nefarious
You can get us both
pursuit.
a beer.
British class elitists said, hey,
Superb.
there's a struggle between the classes.
You're so comfortable, hey?
Who cares if the lower classes are eliminated if we don't fund them, if we don't give them healthcare, if we don't educate them?
Me too.
That's not
This
just
broadcast
the
going.
same thing, what's wrong if we sterilize people who are dull, mentally deficient?
Well, it's getting to be winter. It's gonna be winter soon, so you need a warm myth.
So some anthropologists thought, well, there is going to be misuse of biology. So let's now
Let's be like
create
that.
a new worldview built on bullshit. So the edifice is built on bullshit after bullshit. But at least there won't be an opportunity for people to otherwise misuse biology. And so how do they express that? They created a narrative that basically says that cultural relativism is what defines humanity. Every culture is unique. Every culture is different. There is no such thing as human universals, because that would necessitate biological commonalities, which we don't accept. And so therefore, for 100 years, anthropology departments have been built on an edifice of pure bullshit. At least the cultural anthropologists. The bioanthropologists recognize biology, but the cultural anthropologists are driven by the premise of cultural relativism, which incidentally our common friend Sam Harris tells a great story about moral relativism. And I hope I don't watch the story, but apparently he was at a conference somewhere where he had a chance to speak to the bioethicist who was sitting on the President's Commission on Bioethics, and she apparently is a moral relativist type. And he asked her, I'm very sure there are
Be right back.
universal moral truths. I mean, are you able to pronounce the position on whether if there were a culture where
just do sometimes. Sometimes.
Bad for you.
I know. What can I say? What can I do about it?
Are you?
Miff is coming too. She's coming downstairs. Miff. 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 2 puffs and that's all. I did it. What?
2 puffs and that is all.
2 puffs and then what? Oh yeah, I always lock her down there by accident. Oh yeah, you did that? Thanks for doing that.
So that he could walk towards the light without eyes.
So I gotta try to kill this guy because if I can kill him, I can sacrifice him and the princess, and I'll have a skull cut. So I put the bomb here. He'll be loose. I can just blast him, I think. I'm gonna try. I try crazy things all the time. See blood?
That's why the Gestapo in chief, Justin Trudeau, that's why when he was, not before he was prime minister, when he was a minister in parliament, he got very upset when somebody referred to child pride, honor killing, genital mutilation, throwing acid in their faces when they refused.
Well, oh shit, he almost got out.
He referred to these practices as barbaric and there's no place for it in society. He didn't get upset by those practices. He got upset by the other politician referring to them as barbaric. Is that true? That is true. Then he later came out and, hedged and so on. Of course, after criticism, of course. But he's responding to that standard social justice warrior sort of.
Oh.
Is the king that we've talked about.
Still dangerous. Take that. Take that.
He is taking down Canada to meet where Sweden and the rest of the European hellholes are not becoming
Yes.
as fast as he can.
Skull cut.
This is motivation. I think I don't think it's because he's an evil guy who, has nefarious, ulterior motives. I think he's simply profoundly misguided because of all of the bullshit that you and I have talked about through the years. He comes from an environment of social justice warriors. His dad was the architect of multiculturalism in Canada. Now, multiculturalism, as we may or may not have discussed on the show before, has 2 different meanings. We can talk about multiculturalism as there are many cultures in Orange County. That's multicultural. But multiculturalism as a political philosophy is the idea that when people come to your land, you don't ask them to assimilate. You rejoice in the fact that everybody has their unique, distinct cultures where they can express themselves in any way that they can. Well, of course, in some cases that's fine when it comes to
One more shopkeep down there, I gotta
it's
kill him.
not fine when it comes to let's cut off some clitorises. It's not fine when it comes to genocidal hatred of the Jews.
Honor killing.
And honor, but from his perspective, he is simply shackled by his inability to have a clear moral compass that says this is right, this is wrong, because all he sees is the parasites in his brain that says, who am I to judge? Well, judge, asshole, there are some things that are right and some things that are wrong.
And when we're talking about things like people objecting to the analysis of cranial capacity of different people, I can see why some people would be uncomfortable with that, because I can see how some people would perceive that as being some sort of a justification for racism, and so they would stand it. But as a person who's not racist, I'm not racist, I don't think you are either, when we're discussing this, it becomes a matter of just being a very curious biological trait. And it doesn't make someone superior or inferior, it makes someone different. And it's fascinating to me because I'm looking at the human evolution of the species as being this massive, complex algorithm that's been going on since the beginning of single-celled organisms branching off into multi-celled organisms. So this has been this process it Viking genetics? Okay, well, tell me what happened. Why are their bones so big? Why are they so tall? What is it? What is it about certain people in Africa?
Marathon runners are always from East Africa.
Yeah. Was it West Africa?
No, East Africa.
Which one's West Africa? The sprinters?
West Africa is the sprinters.
That's funny.
Their muscle structures are very different, right? Slow twitch versus the long run. So the East Africans, so Ethiopians and Eritreans and so on, Kenyans, you have these elongated bodies that are just built for long distance. The other guys are these packed.
What's the other guy?
That's why you get those differences.
Yeah.
Now that is not viewed as racist because ultimately you're talking about success.
Right.
On the other hand, if you talk about race A is somehow
Scared to go over there.
that's something that race B
I wouldn't do it.
scores high on the technology.
Hey, he's dead.
Then you're screwed.
He's
There was
fucking
a
dead.
fantastic Radio Lab podcast that dealt with people
Yes.
in a particular part of the world.
Good thinking,
amazing
babe.
at running.
I was just
And,
gonna
they were
keep
talking
going.
about their ability to endure pain because of the rituals that they had to endure. The
Trap
rites
by
of
that
passage
trap.
meant their circumcision done with like sharp sticks and having to crawl naked.
Now I'll get the fucking
bushes and
skull cup for sure.
Dark shit that they had to do. And it was interesting because one guy who had gone through that and became this unbelievably successful
taking over here,
runner,
fella.
just had this unbelievable ability to shut off
go.
the pain signal, like to ignore it. But he was also talking about he wouldn't want his son to go through that same process, and that he believes that the benefits are not worth it. And
Where is my skull cup?
Jamie can probably pull that up. He's probably looking it up right now. But it was unfortunately, it's like I listened to like 5 podcasts, and then it's like a fucking million podcasts ago. What is it called? Kenyan runner. Oh, there's a Kenyan. But it's a particular part of Kenya. It's a very small population of people, by the way, that engage in this like really brutal ritual of manhood, rite of passage. It's really it is fascinating how the is this right here? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Collagen people producing this.
Do you lock her down there or something?
Long distance runners.
You just think she's locked down.
It's in the kitchen.
Yeah, so it's
And she
not
just
just
ate.
biology with them,
She's acting
but
crazy.
it's also this unbelievable ability to
ass
it's called,
cat.
the actual episode is called Cut and Run, because it's about circumcision, about what they were forced to do while they have a stick poking through their dick. It's really hardcore. And that this ability to shut off pain and ability to endure is a key factor
Oh my god.
to succeed in running. That it's a mental toughness thing as well. Like they've
Oh, watch this. Boom, 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 boom. No chance. Yeah, no chance. Oh, the princess too.
Yes.
I'll take them both. Jesus.
My friend Steve was in Bolivia.
Oh,
We were filming a show called Meat Eater.
I didn't mean to go down there.
Down there, and
Damn.
bullet ant bite in his foot, and he said it was so
I don't believe this.
So there's a pain,
9th.
whatever, I don't know the exact metric.
That is
but
bullshit.
Bullet ant scores the highest on that.
I was doing so good.
This particular
I got too
rite
excited.
of passage. You could probably
CPU face number 1.
take gloves. They
My arch enemy / friend.
the ants, when the ants wake up,
Damn.
they start stinging the hands that are in those gloves. There are
Damn.
multiple of these bites, dozens all over the globe.
I could have done a lot
They
better.
have to do that ritual, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 20
I'm
times.
really sad.
Yeah, that's someone who could take
Lucky Nike.
There you go. There you go.
Arbo-chan.
The amount of pain
Right,
that you endure
Arabo-chan.
while doing that is just.
Damn.
There was a guy
Alright.
from Australia that did it for
failed.
some sort of television special
Again.
in the hospital. But
I failed.
you see the pain in his
I'm
face
so
while
sad.
he's doing it. Incredible. They say it's like getting your hand slammed in a car door 24 hours a day. Incredible.
Why?
And it lasts a long time. It lasts for hours.